My name is Dr. Karen Hutchison. I'm assistant professor at Rowan University in the Teacher Education Department with a specialty in early childhood. Before coming to Rowan University, I was the Director of Play Information at Strong National Museum of Play in Rochester, New York. Play is definitely misunderstood in today's society. Parents fail to understand that play addresses all domains of a child rather than just the cognitive domain. Parents today are so focused on getting their children into Harvard or being successful monetarily and educationally that they have forgotten the physical domain, which of course has led to obesity, and the social emotional domain that has led to bullying. Play is actually the work of a child in which they are preparing themselves for adult roles and for society at large. Let's take, for example, in my generation, the Easy Bake Oven prepared us for the microwave. Today's children play with technology. That is preparing them for the future where we have excess information. Toys are actually tools for the future. And children play with toys in an unstructured manner in order to create and actively engage in their physical environment to build knowledge. At Christmas time, parents often give children fancy toys that do the imagination and creativity that's built into the toy. However, most children end up playing with the cardboard box because it is unstructured and it can be anything that they want it to be. And they know what is needed as they build their own schemas within their mind. They assimilate and accommodate, which means that they already have a brain mapping tool that they can change and make adjustments and modifications to build on their already existing knowledge. What parents don't realize is that play actually optimizes the brain. At Baylor University in Texas, they have done studies that show children who play actively have a 20 to 30% larger brain and more density because experience builds on dendrites, making the child much more attuned to their environment around them. Currently in schools, children are lucky to get 15 to 20 minutes of play. I don't think there is a magic number. Children should be allowed to play as they see fit. Let the child lead the play environment. Let the child lead how much time they want to spend on a particular toy. One thing that parents do is they interrupt the child's play by having to make it represent something. For example, a child is playing with blocks. They are sorting according to pattern, color, they're learning classification. But a parent will interrupt that and say, "What are you making?" It doesn't have to be something concrete. They are learning skills, not particular items that an adult would want to see. In today's society with high-stakes testing in the school systems, perfection is demanded. Not developmentally appropriate, however. I have seen 3-year-olds in Texas school systems and in New York school systems and in New Jersey school systems in which the children are learned to bubble in answer sheets before they even know how to control a pencil or crayon to color in a coloring project. This is developmentally inappropriate. They don't have the fine motor skills. Parents have lost focus of developmentally appropriate. The National Association for the Education of the Young Child has a position statement that focuses on developmentally appropriate rather than this is the latest fad or this is what a commercial is selling. Parents need to ask the child what they're interested in rather than getting the most newfangled toy on the market. The importance of play in children is that they are addressing the cognitive domain, the physical domain, and the social emotional domain. Parents are only focusing on the cognitive domain. Education today should be about resourcefulness. Where do you find the information rather than memorizing the information? We have to be very aware that children today are not expected to live as long as their parents because the physical domain and social domains have been neglected. Play with parents does not have to, no. Parents playing with children does not have to be structured. The more unstructured, the more beneficial it is. Let's take, for example, a mother who comes home after a harried day at the office and she's emptying the dishwasher. She could play I Spy. I spy something around. I spy something that begins with a D. This is play, it's educational. If we take play in its purest form, which is unstructured, we can definitely correlate play with the New Jersey standards for early childhood. Here at Rowan, I teach 2 classes of growth and learning. The first segment is the early childhood years from birth to 8, and the second segment is the school-age child. First of all, my students were not even aware that play had been removed from the school curriculum. In the country, over 60% of schools do not have play and/or don't have a playground. My early childhood students have learned that because play is missing in the curriculum, they need to advocate, be the voice for children. One class is doing a service learning project in which they have prepared play pamphlets in order to teach that children should be playing and it is age appropriate as well as cognitively focused. The United Nations Article 31, Rights of a Child, state very clearly that a child has the right to play. That has been forgotten, and the United States is one of 2 countries that has not ratified that document. Somalia is the other one. It used to be the United Kingdom was the leader in play movement. They actually have a degree called Play Works, in which they produce play workers for the school systems. Now the Ministry of Education in the UK is beginning to back off from that stance, and they are having similar problems that America is having. Spain at this point has the most friendly atmosphere toward children's play because they believe in an afternoon siesta, an afternoon of relaxation mixed in with work. In 1983, A Nation at Risk, that was the turning point for the educational reform. Because America is a bottom line country that numbers and statistics matter most, education took the same stance. With A Nation at Risk, we began to look at the Asian countries who we are often compared with in terms of excelling. What we tend to not see is that the Asian countries educate the cream of the crop. In America, we educate everyone.